And welcome back to the Daily Dose of Dalton podcast, coming at you with episode 10. And it's not even been a month or 2 months between the last episode, because today I had my FCS practical. And just a side note, I think it went okay. I know I definitely messed up on some aspects, some parts of it. Hopefully I did good enough to pass. Worst case scenario, I have to retake it. Actually, the worst case scenario is that I have to do a retake, and then I fail the retake. And then when I fail the retake, I'm out of the program. That's 2 years of my life down the drain. And then I have to become a rodeo clown. I mean, I already got the clown part down. I just got to learn how to dodge a bull. But if you dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. And if you can dodge a ball, you can dodge a bull, right? Is that how that works? But anyways, yeah, think it could have gone better, but lower extremity, it's hard. So anyways, I had that practical at 9:10 this morning. At least that's when I was supposed to go. I was supposed to go at 9:10, and I ended up going like 9:35. Yeah. And so now I have nothing until 1 o'clock. So I figured, why not come home? Give the people what they want. My newest subscribers. Well, I know Zach subscribed last night. Don't think Allison did. But we'll still love them the same, because that's what Jesus would do. But I will love Zach more. But anyways, so here we are. And before we go any further, shout out Table 4, baby. Shout out to Caleb getting us these hoodies. The world's okayest table. I don't know if you can see it. But then it says Table 4, baby, which is what we say every time, whether we get an answer right or wrong. It's what we say. And, it also has our picture on the back, which I'll show that in another clip. I'm not getting up right now. And basically every other gross anatomy lab group is jealous of us. They wish they were Table 4. They hate us because they ain't us. None of them have matching hoodies or stickers. I made these stickers for them because we're just better than everyone else, obviously, which is why nobody comes to visit us during lab. Well, that's just sad, actually. Be strong, be strong, be strong. Anyways, so while we're on the topic of school, let me give you my breakdown. Fabio exam 3 went fine. Gross written exam went fine. Gross practical exam went fine. Still wanted to do a little better. Lowest practical score so far, but who cares? FCS practical, like I said, I think it went okay. Definitely didn't ace it, make 100. No, I screwed up in some parts, but maybe there'll be some grace. What is that ticking? Oh, I think there's somebody outside working. But anywho, that's the academic breakdown recently. Have I been an academic weapon recently? Not really. I've been like, what's the step below a weapon? That is so annoying that they're clicking like that. Lord, I hope you can't hear that on this microphone. I'm like a academic threat. I'm not a weapon, but I'm a threat. I think that's a correct way to put that. I'm right there. I could be at the next stage of being an academic weapon. It will never be Charlie, though. Charlie is an academic nuclear bomb. So, or A bomb or H bomb, whichever one's the biggest bomb. I don't really know. Don't really remember. But other stuff that happened the last 2 weeks. Hayden Calhoun. I've mentioned him before. I've also posted a video of him half naked dancing to a viral TikTok trend. So go back and I think it's the last episode or episode 8. Let me look real quick. I think it's episode 9. I think it's episode 9 where that happens. Yeah, it was his birthday. He turned 23 on Wednesday, I believe. So happy birthday to Hayden. Hope it was mediocre at best. Didn't have any exams that week, so hopefully it was. On Saturday, Miss Courtney Ann, my beautiful, beautiful bride, she got her white coat for UCA School of Physical Therapy. And so she's got this last week of class, and then she's got finals, and then she's in the clinic doing her rotation, her very first one. Is she scared? Absolutely. Do I think she'll be fine? Absolutely. But, you know, she's just going to stress out about it. That's just a matter of fact. But I know, and everybody else who knows her knows that she's going to be fine. So, and I would say something to her, but she doesn't watch these. You make one joke about her. She says she's not going to watch them anymore, but whatever. Yeah, so I'll drop a little picture right here. Her with her white coat. We look so good. I know, you don't have to tell us. So, really the only other big thing this last week, or I guess 2 weeks, is my frontal lobe. It might be starting to fully develop. I mean, I know I got 2 years, but I might be getting more mature. I just might be. Because there's been a couple situations, and, you know, school, family, personal, just anything else, interactions with people in the outside world, that Dalton from a few years ago, maybe even like 6 months ago, would have gotten into a physical altercation, would have said something that would have gotten him in a lot of trouble. Not just like, you know, just trouble, you know, financial trouble, physical trouble. What's the other kind? I had it in my head and I don't remember. Oh, well, I can't remember. Anyways, would have put myself in even more of a poor situation. But for some reason, I feel like I've been handling things with grace and with, you know, maturity. And I don't want to sound cocky or holier than thou, because obviously still not fully there. So got 2 more years till I'll lose that excuse. But, you know, your boy might be growing up. He might be taking that next step. So since I've done that, you might see me, you know, do something really stupid because I got to even it out. I can't set the standard that I'm being mature and I'm going to do the right thing. Who do you think I am? No. But anyways, yeah. So stay tuned to see how mature I can be by my 24th birthday. Oh, God. I am getting old. Oh. You guys ever still feel like you're like 16 or 17, no worries in the world, and then you're like, oh, wait, I'm a grown adult with responsibilities and bills to pay, and just kind of crazy. The only other thing really that happened was I got my haircut from my barber who got out of jail recently. Shout out my barber. Fire trucks. Yeah, it's fire truck engine or siren, not popo. But yeah, and I know you're thinking, well, you got a haircut, but why you still got all that stuff all over your face? You look homeless. It's because Jake and Anna's wedding is this Sunday. Hashtag exciting. Hashtag crazy. Hashtag is Jake going to get cold feet? Hashtag is Anna going to get cold feet? You know, because weddings have all the hashtags. I don't know what their hashtag's going to be, but yeah, I'm working on wrapping up my speech because got a list of stuff I can't talk about, and every good joke I can't make. Well, every tacky joke I can't make. There's still some good jokes I got to work on, but I told my parents one of them this weekend, and they just stared at me, and I'm like, wow, tough audience, tough crowd. But anyways, that's not important. Let's get to the biggest thing that's happened over the last 2 months. I've had to keep a secret from everyone. Basically, I'm Prank Sinatra. That's me. I am that guy. Hashtag Winnie the Bish. Any of my New Girl fans. Since August 29th, and I must shout out my partner in crime, the mastermind behind all of this, Miss Kimber Brown. She came to me with the idea to prank Cassidy. And so long story short, to give you this background, Cassidy has his stress ball brain. Ooh, wait. Oh, hang on. I'm back. So Cassidy had this stress ball brain that says Harding University Physical Therapy on it. And it's been sitting on her desk like a desk ornament, kind of like what I have. And so Kimber was like, it would be funny if we like ordered 100 stress balls and put them on her desk. Like just put them all on there just to mess with her. I'm like, that would be funny. And so I was like, let's do 40 though, because 100's a lot. Especially if they're all this size, that's a lot. And it was more expensive. So what we did was we ordered a 40 set. And these brains, they looked a lot bigger on Amazon, but they came out to be this size. I don't even know if you can see that. But it was a multicolored pack. That's the size difference right there, if you can tell. And so the first day, me and Kim were, getting them out of the car. She's like, oh my gosh, they're so small. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And I'm like, wait, what color is the brain? She was like, it's like a grayish white. And I was like, hang on. There was a white one in the pack. So I was like, what if we just replaced this big one with the small one? And I did that. And so we did that. And Ramey, shout out Kevin, was getting out of his car to walk into school. And he's like, what are y'all doing? And so he was in on it from day one. And so I replaced that. Took her like 2 hours to notice. Took Cassidy 2 hours to notice. And after that, she like came up to me. She was like, did you replace my brain? I was like, no. Like, you assumed the worst of me. She's like, no, it was creative. Like, it was funny. And you're the type of person who would think of that. And I was like, no, Cassidy, my pranks involve like physical harm or, I don't know, Photoshop, like stuff like this sitting within my realm. So hashtag gaslighting, put that on my special skills on my next resume, on my CV. And anyway, she's like going to everyone, like, who was it? She was going to Ramey, and Ramey was like, I don't know who it is. And so I was like, okay, we have an opportunity to capitalize. And so basically, me and Kim started working with a bunch of other people. And since Kim's a second year and I'm a first year, whenever first years would be in lab, Kim would take a couple, like we just kept adding the number of brains. So like the next day, there was 2 brains. And then we wait a couple days and then we'd add like 3 or 4. And then we just kept adding them and adding them and adding them, but we'd wait like a couple days in between, let it rest. And she kept thinking it was me because when the second years were in lab, more brains would appear. But when first years were in lab or, gone or something, more brains would appear. So she'd be like, what the heck? Who is it? Like, I don't understand. And so finally she kept coming up to me and saying stuff. And then she stopped saying stuff to me about it. Now it's like, she wants me to come and say something to her. So she can be like, it's you. I figured it out. Oh, anyway. Yeah. And so this just kept going on. I have it from the first day, August 29th, and it went till October 16th. We kept doing this. I got Andrew in on it a couple times. Graham knew about it. I got Dr. Smith and Dr. Wilcox to go and give her brains. I just walk into class and just hand them to her, drop her on her desk. I got Dr. Finney to tell her she knew who it was and that she was supposed to give her some, but that, it didn't work. Like just all this stuff. So Cassidy's like, I want to know who. And so then finally, Kim, once we're now, after they second years finished their finals, like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, about 2 weeks ago. Tomorrow would be 2 weeks. When we got on a break from Patho, Kim ordered a 100-pack to the small brains again. Or not again, but instead of the 40-pack. And when the second years went in at 9 o'clock to do their final exam, and then Patho got a break, I went and I stole Cassidy's keys out of her backpack. And then I went to Kim's truck, got the box of brains out of it, and I printed out a picture of Winston Bishop saying, gotcha, like at the end of New Girl. Because, again, I'm Prank Sinatra. And then I just dumped them all in there in the car, and then I ran back inside, put her keys back and everything. But Kim then went back out there, and she fixed my mess, and she put them in the sun visor. She put them in the console, in the glove box, in the side doors, under the seat, and the gas tank. Anywhere you can think of or not think of, Kim put them there. And then we got a picture of Dr. Ramey like putting one in the car, so that's really funny. We're going to try to get that into like a poster to put in the hallway. Yeah, and so then while she was out there, like ran up behind Cassidy and I said, Prank Sinatra! And then she was like, I knew it was you. And then I ran away because I was scared for my physical health and safety. But yeah, so it was funny. And it just went on for like a month. And I mean, who else besides me would stick with something for that long that had absolutely no relevance or contribution to everyday life or society? Your boy, me. That's who. So yeah, I think this might be one of my best pranks. That's really all. Yeah, I mean, it's really the best prank I can think of. I mean, a couple other ones were, just like scare pranks. I got a couple of videos of like Cole and Jake and me scaring them, but I'd have to go back and find those, put them in. And then the other one was when Nick Saban retired from being Alabama's coach. I photoshopped a bunch of people I knew, like their college teams, like coach. I photoshopped them in Alabama stuff, and like an ESPN news report saying that they're going to be the new coach of Alabama. It's really all I can think of prank wise. Maybe I need to up my game. But oh well. So shout out Kimber, mastermind of the great brain prank of Harding University PT school. Yeah. So I think my favorite part about all that was how Cassie would spaz out, and there was one day, they were in lab. We were in the middle of lecture, and I put stuff in like her backpack or like in her bag or something. And then we're still in lecture. And then we hear the second years come back in, and all you hear is just Cassidy screaming about, no. Like, who was it? And like just losing her mind. And then Dr. Wilcox being in class like, I don't know what's going on over there, but sounds like they're having fun. And I knew Cassidy was having like a full-on breakdown, so that made it even better. You know what? I don't have a whole lot of time. Well, got about 30 minutes before I need to leave, so let's just move on. And I'm bringing back an old thing, out of pocket. I had a conversation this week, or last week, whichever one. I think it was last week. How many 5-year-olds do you think you could beat in hand-to-hand combat at once? Do you think it's like 6 or 50, 200, 1,000? And again, like, it all depends on the situation. You're in an open field. They're all coming at you from one direction. So it's not like you're getting swarmed. They're like coning in on you, or honing in, whatever you want to call it. And so, they're jumping. You'll be like, you got to have that stamina, and it's hand-to-hand combat. So I just want you to think about that. How many 5-year-olds do you think you could, beat? And you're not killing them. You're just subduing them. Just knocking them out. They'll be fine. They're kids. They're made of rubber. That's why, they can fall and flim and their necks don't break. It's how God designed it. And then, once you get that answer, think about it. Now I want you to add like nunchucks or a bow staff, and then tell me how many you could take. Because personally, 5-year-olds, hand-to-hand combat coming at me, no weapons. I think it's probably somewhere, I'd say 312 before I get tired. Yeah. Yeah, I think 312 is a good answer. If it's just, hand-to-hand or just kicking. It just depends on how smart they are, too. Now, if you give me nunchucks, probably like 3. Because I would probably end up hitting myself in the face or in the nether regions. And while I was distracted, I would get overrun. But if you gave me a bow staff, I'm thinking at least 2,000. 2,109. I think that's going to be my final answer on that one. Yeah. So, just if you find yourself in, not morbid, but just really go out there. Go out of your comfort zone and think about how many 5-year-olds you could smack in the head. Moving on. Let's talk about the music world. Got a little bit of drama. Well, this one ain't drama. There's some drama later on, but so Liam Payne died, obviously, One Direction. Let's just talk about it. Let's just get to the points. Is it sad that somebody died, and, you know, young-ish, 31, I guess 31's still young. Is it sad that he died? Yes. Was he a part of a lot of childhoods? Yes. Not mine, because I was a big-time rusher. I was not a One Directioner. But the autopsy report came out, and this dude was on drugs I've never even heard of. I've never heard of pink COC. I think you know where that's going. And then it sounds like he just went wild. And the pictures of his hotel room with all this stuff broken, shattered, drugs out, he probably wasn't the best of guys. And I get that it's a sad thing, like somebody from your childhood passed away, but also it shouldn't be that sad, because he didn't know who you were. You meant nothing to him. Well, maybe like as general, like his fans meant something to him, but at the end of the day, he was accused of domestic violence multiple times and from multiple partners, and then was on a whole heap of illegal drugs, and then seems like he just went crazy. But anyways, still very sad that somebody died that young. Hate that was how he came to his end. But anyways, we won't speak about that anymore. Let's talk about the Zach Bryan breakup and drama. So, long story short, Zach was dating this influencer, Brianna Chicken Fry. I don't know if that's her actual last name or not, but that's what the internet says. They've been dating like a year and a half. He just bought a mansion in her home state. And they've been together for a while. And then they just break up out of nowhere. Social media is deactivated. They don't talk about each other anymore. And so everybody's like speculating. And then all of a sudden they post like, "We broke up. Please respect our privacy." And then it comes out a couple days later that Zach Bryan allegedly cheated on her with, I know for sure, at least one woman, but I've heard stuff up to at least like multiple. I'm not going to say a number. No defamation charges coming at me. But anywho, yeah. And so everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, Zach Bryan cheated on Brianna Chicken Fry." And I'm like, why are you shocked? Why are you caught off guard by this? Do we need to talk about this man's like lineup of songs? I mean, let's just be honest about it, okay? Because if you listen to his music, he literally tells you how crappy of a person he is. Let me go. I'm at his Spotify now. Big song from his Quiet Heavy Dreams EP. My man literally talks about, there's a song called Let You Down. He literally talks about how he's a crappy person. And how he's just going to let you down. He's no good in a relationship. He, is literally just what the song talks about. And I will give some worn down excuse about my misguided judgments of substance abuse. There ain't no use in loving a letdown like me. I'll let you down, darling, down, babe, just like I did before. I will leave you broken and in ruins. Call you when the work's through just to find out what you're doing so I can let you down for the 100th last time. 'Cause letting down's a pick-me-up for me and my boys kind. I mean, when he tells you that, probably not a good guy. You know? I mean, everybody knows his history. He married his first wife, Rose, who was the inspiration behind his second album. And while she was deployed overseas, sent her divorce papers in the mail. So we all know that. And I mean, you know who you're getting into bed with. You know the type of person he is. Because, I mean, he's famous. Dirty Laundry's going to get aired. You know what you're getting into, Rihanna. And I guess the point I'm trying to make is that, I mean, I know people can change too. I know they can. But if somebody's going to show you their continuous habitual behavior and mindset, why even subject yourself to that? I mean, because people will show you who they are. People will show you who they are, and it's your job to pay attention to it. He told you way before, hey, I'm a crappy piece of person. I don't do well in relationships. I break up when things get hard. I don't try to fight for relationships. I cheat. I lie. I do this, that, and the third. And he says that in all of his songs. He's cheated on his last 2 partners, apparently. And then recently, Snapchat got leaked of him in some Georgia, undergrad student's dorm room because he hooked up with her immediately after a breakup. And apparently he was DMing some girl, telling her to keep it low key and that they needed to meet privately. But I just don't know why people are shocked. And maybe, apparently he just is doing this to try and trying to get more material to write songs, feel something so he can write better, or, when he gets bored or runs out of fuel for songwriting, he just does that. But I don't know. Moving on. Some people have released new songs recently. There's too many for me to go through. Riley Green released a new album. Always brings the heat. Not even going to get into it. Morgan Wallen finally released Love Somebody, the song that he said would sound great on a boat, that he said back in the summertime when he teased it, and it just now came out. It's too cold to be on a boat unless you're Hayden Calhoun, and then you decide to go out on a boat when it's freezing outside. But anyways, it's a catchy song. I don't think it's nearly as country as it could have been, but also it's Morgan Wallen, and we know his record label won't let him put out anything that he wants to, or in the style that he wants. It has to be overproduced. It's fun, but it took way too long. I feel like the song got overplayed on TikTok before it even got released. So, the big thing also, Jelly Roll. Why are we still calling this man country? I listened to some of his songs. Is he a decent singer? Yeah. Does he speak about and sing about some good stuff? Also, yes. He's not country. He's not. He is not country. He's not. Why? When are we going to go over that? And I know Morgan Wallen is, not the most country singer. There's other guys who are way more country, but Jelly Roll does, at least Morgan Wallen has like a country accent and sings about country stuff. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time he sings about country stuff, but Jelly Roll doesn't even sound country. He sounds like a grunge or like punk rock. I don't know. Like, he does not sound like he's a country singer, and I don't know why everybody keeps calling him a country singer. It's so frustrating. God, I'm not even going to get down that rabbit hole. We ain't got time for that today. So, song of the week, for me, personally, has been Let Me Down Easy by Billy Currington. Just throwback. It's a banger. I forgot the song existed for a while, and then it came on shuffle the other day, like random radio, and I was like, oh my gosh, this song is kind of a banger. No, not kind of, is a banger. It slaps. And also, we talk about him every week. Zach Top also covered it, and there was a video of him covering it, and I need that ASAP on Spotify now, please. But anywho, there's a new kid, Vincent Mason. I really like him. He sings the song Hell is a Dance Floor, and I love that song. I think it's really good. And he has a couple other songs that are pretty good too. But I think the biggest thing I like about Vincent Mason is that he doesn't go overproduced. He very much is, he keeps it very simple, keeps it kind of stripped down. There's still drum stuff, but it's not the pop synth over, like, overwhelming what he's singing and like what he's doing. He still feels kind of country, and I don't know if he's a solo writer or not. I don't think he's a solo writer. And I've liked 4 songs by him on Spotify. Let me look. Song credits. I mean, he's not a solo writer, but he's still a part of the songwriting. And while it's not the most important thing, it's okay to not write your own songs. Just don't act like you're writing your songs if you aren't writing them. You know what I mean? So glad we're on the same page about that. But, yeah. So I think he could be up and coming pretty soon, or he technically is up and coming right now. But, yeah, he's pretty good. That's all I got to say about that. And then I already have a new song for next week, but I'll go in depth on that one next time because I got some more opinions about it. You know what? While I'm here, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to talk about this dude named Gavin Addock. Addick. I don't know how to say his last name, but videos of him in concerts. I don't know why anybody would pay money to go to his concert. He acts like a flaming turd up there, and he's an okay singer, but he's not nothing special. And he tries to overdo the rasp like this. His TikToks are cringy as all get out. And what really makes me mad is that he has a cross tattoo on his forearm or hand or wherever it is. He has a tattoo of a cross, and he's up there getting hammered every night on stage, using GD and the F word. I mean, I know people swear. I know it's part of life. I swear more than I should. But I don't use GD and then have a cross tattooed on my forearm. Nor do I sit there and get plastered on stage every night. I'm not trying to be holier than thou. But, and again, it's not me judging or being it's calling out because, as Christians, and I'm not going to get too deep into the religious side here, but, as Christians, we're supposed to call out when people aren't living up to the standard. Well, we aren't supposed to judge them. We're supposed to be full of truth and full of grace. And he's going through a breakup, apparently. Must be going through a hard time. I get that. But if you're going to have the tattoo, live it out. Because all you're doing right there is you're showing, hey, it seems like you're using Christianity more as a safety net. So, but I'll digress. Maybe that'll be a topic for next week. But he just gets up there and acts like a fool. Apparently cheated on his girlfriend, and then he wants to act like a fool up on stage, yelling at people for getting rowdy at his shows and calling them MFers and every other word in the book while and apparently he looks drunk in every concert video I've seen. So why would anyone want to go to a concert where the guy's constantly drunk, just screaming and, throwing beer on people? And maybe that's your kind of thing. It's not mine, but, at the end of the day, it is what it is. So, yeah, that's really all I got for the music aspect of it. So, ladies, you know the drill. This is your time to go. Or Julie can stay if she wants, and Allison, because I know they're football fans. Talked a little bit about that, but, yeah, so it's your time to go. So, I'll see the guys back in a second. Now that we're back into it with sports, let's talk about it. So both teams, there's World Series right now for baseball. I just hope both teams lose. The Dodgers are up 3-0 in the series right now. I hope they somehow find a way to cancel the World Series because I can't stand either of these teams winning. Number one, I like Shohei, but also it's the Dodgers. And the fact that Freddie left Atlanta for LA, I was hoping that he would never win a World Series there. Yeah, and then the Yankees, how obnoxious New York fans are. You got the Mets and then the Yankees, who are both super obnoxious. And if the Yankees come back and win 3-0, the Yankees have been bragging about 27 rings, and their last time they went to the World Series was like 2009. So don't really know why we're bragging that much about that. And if they get one this year after coming back 3-0, you know they're going to be even worse. It's going to be the next 50 years they're going to brag about it. So if there's a way for both of them to lose, let's find out how to make that happen. But yeah, it looks like the Dodgers are going to sweep, maybe. Good for Shohei, I guess. Good for Freddie. It's kind of like when you have a breakup and you want to wish the best for them, but you actually can't. You're like, oh, they're happy and they found what they're looking for. No, I don't. You should have stayed. But you're a sellout. Money was more important. And the thing is, with Freddie's contract, he's still getting paid less than what his Atlanta contract would have been because of California state taxes. Freaking idiot. But anyways, it's okay. We don't need Freddie. We got Matt Olson and Marcell Ozuna. Ozuna from the Braves. Anyways, yeah, I'm just kind of over it. NBA season finally started. I think the Grizzlies are 1-2. I don't know. I can look that up in a second. Oh no, Grizzlies are 2-2. Okay, cool. So better than I thought, but still. Remember, it doesn't matter what your record is till the playoffs. You just got to make the playoffs, and if you make the playoffs, it's about what you do from there. Doesn't matter if you're 81-1 or if you're, 41-41. You still make the playoffs. It's all about how you play once you get there. But yeah, so maybe once this semester settles down a little bit, because we got a crazy 2 weeks, maybe I can just chill in and watch a little bit of basketball. Now let's go to college football. These last 2 weeks have been absolutely absurd. Okay, so Tennessee beat Alabama for the second time in. Let's see. Bama started their win streak in 06, so 18 years. So in 18 matchups, Tennessee just won their second one. And I don't want to blame the referees, but I will. Referees were atrocious that game, but also Alabama did not capitalize on the 3 interceptions. Was it 3 interceptions? 2 or 3? It was 2 or 3 interceptions. They got them past midfield. A fumble, 2 missed field goals from 53 yards out. And so that puts you in good field position. And you can't capitalize on it. Just bad decisions. Piss poor play. Kendrick Law decided to throw a punch at the end of the game. And should that have been offsetting penalties because of taunting and then the guy also shoving him back? Yeah, should have been offsetting. But you know what? Shouldn't have done it in the first place. Shouldn't have even been an issue. But, yeah. And then DeBoer just seems like he doesn't give a doggone, worth a tootin'. I don't even know what to say that's clean, but he just seems like he doesn't care. He's like, oh, well, it's part of the game. No. That is Tennessee. That's our second biggest rival. I personally think of them as a bigger rivalry than Auburn because Auburn is just Auburn. Auburn's always been Alabama's little brother. They had 1 year with Cam Newton. Literally. So, and you lose that game. I genuinely think that if DeBoer doesn't get it together and, start lighting some fires and having some intensity, I think that if he loses to Auburn, I think his seat's getting pretty warm right now. But if they don't beat Auburn at the end of the season, DeBoer's done. He's gone. I don't see any way that you lose your 2 biggest rivalry games and don't make the playoffs. I think you're done. I think he's gone. But we did just beat Missouri 34-0. But also, Missouri's a hot bag of cat turds. So they ain't that good. And it was their backup quarterback. We should at least put up 50. But a win is a win. Offense has got to get rolling. Got to figure it out. Got to utilize that run game. But let's talk about the Texas A&M backup quarterback, because I thought that LSU was going to have it in the bag, thought they were going to win. No. Their backup quarterback, what did they put up, like 35 points in the fourth quarter? I don't remember exactly, but, I mean, he came in and just ran through them like crap through a tin horn. And let's see. Oh, Vandy almost beat Texas. That was kind of wild. So maybe Texas either isn't as good as we thought, or Vandy's a lot better than everyone gives them credit for. Because I don't care that they ended up losing. I think the fact... Okay, why did Mason tell me it was 35? It was 31 in the second half, not in the fourth quarter. No, they scored 17 in the fourth quarter, but... yeah, let's see. What's his name? Marcel Reed came in, only threw for 70 yards, only threw 2 passes whenever he came in, but ran for 62 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. Their starting quarterback had negative 16 rushing yards, or negative 14. Sorry, that's kind of crazy. But yeah, Notre Dame finally beat Navy. Navy finally went down, so I think that just goes to prove that you can't play, like, because I've heard multiple people in multiple different groups, multiple different backgrounds say that if Navy and Army each have 1 loss to each other, they need to both be in the playoffs. No. It's going to be like it was with the 14 playoffs. They're going to put one team in at the 4th spot because they're most deserving, and then they're going to get beat. They're going to get blown out. TCU shouldn't have been put in. Michigan State shouldn't have been put in. Notre Dame shouldn't have been put in. Cincinnati, like, what are we? Come on, play the best teams. You know who they are. Anyways, but yeah, Bama's got a bye week this week, and then they go and play LSU, I believe. I believe it's LSU after this week. The bye week, I think, is LSU, Mercer, Oklahoma, Auburn. I think that's the schedule, if I'm not mistaken. Or Oklahoma and Mercer might be flipped. So, anyways, that's not the important thing. Let me just go back to this Alabama-Tennessee game. That's what I'm thinking about it. Everybody loves to hate on Alabama. But, and everybody loves to say the dynasty's over. Alabama sucks now. Until teams stop storming the field and they stop tearing down goalposts whenever they beat Alabama, the dynasty's not over. Every upset win that has happened against Alabama, I think, I'm thinking back, Michigan was our other loss, but Michigan and Georgia was our other loss in the playoffs. But those don't really count because they weren't favorites to win either game. And they were playoff games. But like Texas A&M stormed the field, Tennessee stormed the field. I'm trying to remember who else we lost to recently. It's that hard, it's hard to think about all your losses when you're an Alabama fan. But yeah, I mean, teams just keep storming the field. Vandy stormed the field. Tennessee stormed the field again this year. Tore down their goalpost again. Like, until that stops happening, the dynasty is not over. And Alabama is still a dominant team. Because in what world is the number 11 team storming the field after they beat number 7, especially if they think they're better than them? I get it's a rivalry and you can argue that, but at the end of the day, call a spade a spade. If you thought Alabama was that bad, you wouldn't have stormed the field if you beat them. So I rest my case. I think that's all I really got to talk about. I know I kind of seem scatterbrained, but I think it's because I'm coming down off the high and the, maxed out nerves for this practical. So, yeah. I don't know when my next one will be or next episode, because I definitely have wedding Sunday. Then I have Fabio and Patho exam on Friday. FCS practical on Tuesday. FCS written exam on Friday. And then the next Monday, gross anatomy written exam and practical. And I think I have some quizzes sprinkled in there in between. So, yeah. So it'll probably be another little hiatus, but maybe I'll film one during our dead week. Who knows? Probably not, but it might be Thanksgiving time before I post again. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you don't, I don't care. Stop watching. But yeah, I will see you guys next time.